What's up, guys? Sorry that I've been gone for a little bit longer than I anticipated. I usually never take 3 days to upload a video, but I was just waiting to get my new mic, for my new mic to come in. I was so sick and tired of my old microphone disconnecting every 30 seconds or just deciding not to work randomly or this and that. You know, it really made videos take a lot longer. Believe it or not, a 10-15 minute video would end up taking an hour just because I had to re-record segments three to four times because of that fucking microphone. But now, oh my god, I have a microphone that works consistently, and you don't know how much of a difference that makes, but I'm sure you guys aren't here for that. I wanted to make this video just because I needed something to upload for today and because I haven't uploaded in a while, but it's something that's been weighing on my mind for a while, and I really did want to talk about it. Why we don't need more anime tower defense games on Roblox. And I know when I say that, a lot of people are going to be pretty surprised to hear that coming from me, of all people, right? A tower defense YouTuber saying you don't need more tower defense games. It's like a fish saying he doesn't need water. But what I'm trying to say by the fact that I think we don't need more of these types of games on Roblox is for a good amount of reasons that I'll get into in this video. But the first one, and the most important one, I think, is oversaturation, or market saturation, whatever you want to call it. Roblox has a good amount of tower defense games already. If you search up anime tower defense on the Roblox search bar, you will be meted with a lot of tower defense games, most of which I haven't tried besides the big ones, obviously. And I think this is a prime example of why the genre as a whole is becoming oversaturated to the point where it's just not fun anymore. For me personally, I've gotten a lot of tower defense games reach out to me, ask me if I want to cover their game for a video, if I want to test something, if I want to have early access for this and that. And although, you know, I'm all for people trying to make games and, you know, get the bag, money is money, why else would they be making these types of games? The truth is, I just don't have the energy anymore or the enthusiasm to pretend to be excited about the 146th anime tower defense game that's coming out. And I don't think it's ridiculous to say that. I really don't. I see more and more day by day, more anime tower defense games either coming out, in development, dropping sneak peeks, or there's like TikToks of it. I remember I was scrolling through TikTok and I believe his name is Mr. Khan, Mr. Khan. Well, I was scrolling through TikTok, right? And I see this sneak peek that looks super fucking dope. It's like Igris and Sung Jin Woo fighting, and it's super cinematic. And, you know, he knocks Sung Jin Woo back, and it's in like a really cool first and third person mode. Amazing graphics, SFX, animations, and everything. I'm like, damn, this shit looks cool. What the fuck is it for? Another anime tower defense game. And that's not to downplay the effort or time and commitment that goes into making these types of games, because regardless of the Roblox genre that you choose to focus on, it's going to take time. It's going to be hard. It's not going to just be something that you can do instantaneously, but I'm just bored. I'm tired of it. And I really don't think I'm the only person to have this same mindset. The tower defense genre as a whole has been around for a while. And I think the OG was ASTD, and then after that, Anime Adventures really took a ownership of that genre. And then when they got taken down, Anime Defenders had the lead for a little while. Then, you know, they slowly started tapering off after Anime Vanguard's released. Then AA re-released. Then AA fell off. And then we're back to present day where Anime Vanguards is just the most popular game for tower defense. And somehow in between all of that, ALS was just chilling there. Fuck, they're doing better than ever. I'm grinding the game right now. I'll see if I make a video on it, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say, back to my first reason, anime tower defense games are extremely oversaturated. There are so many of them. And frankly, there's not enough of a difference in these games to warrant there being the sheer amount of games that we have. There are games that I think definitely are standouts, for better or for worse, like fucking anime RNG tower defense. That's definitely different for all the wrong reasons. That is the most slop, brain rot, mind-numbing game that I could ever think of. You know, think Souls RNG, but to have fun, you need to, like, instead of your usual tower defense game where you can grind for your units, you just have to get lucky. So you can sit in a private server with an auto clicker until you get a good unit to use. That is just, oh my god. And there are definitely other cases of tower defense games that stand out for good things, right? We'll give that to Anime World Tower Defense, which is, from a game mechanic and game development standpoint, really, really good for an anime tower defense game. Progression, mechanics, obtainment methods, all of these things are really, really good. They deserve their praise for that. But it just gets to the point where we're at a moment in time where I really don't see any more anime tower defense games coming out for any other purpose than making a quick buck. Because let's be honest, in terms of longevity, I honestly think it's not a good time to try to compete with the big games that we have right now, that being Anime Last Stand, Anime Vanguards, and currently it's still Anime Adventures. They are dipping below 10k players, but I still think they're the third biggest anime tower defense. I could be wrong though, correct me if I'm wrong. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? Market's pretty saturated. The idea's been done to death a lot. And unless a game was to come in here and really revolutionize the genre with something incredibly mind-blowing or life-changing, I don't see the need to make more anime tower defense games. But let's move on. Second reason would just be poor quality or games that are made really shittily. Prime example, Anime Odyssey. Another good example, Anime Realms. Well, Anime Realms after it got stolen. Originally, it was pretty well made. I didn't encounter any bugs when I was playing it back when Luck owned the game, but that's a whole another can of worms. What I'm trying to say is a lot of anime tower defense games that come out now can be cursed with the "we need to get this out as soon as possible so we can make money" curse, where the game just ends up being a poorly written, horribly coded mess that isn't enjoyable to play for the sake of meeting a deadline or for coming out whenever the players want it to come out. And in my opinion, that's one of the fastest ways to kill a game. To this day, I think Anime Odyssey is the greatest example of this, and I genuinely will never forget it for just how bad it was. Among a lot of things, the game's code was just not the most well made, and that's coming from someone who has literally zero coding experience. The most that I can do is print "Hello World" onto the Roblox studio, and even I know how horrendously coded that thing was, because just from a gameplay standpoint, it was so unfun to interact with. And a lot of games, well, I won't say a lot, but there's definitely been other cases of games that follow the similar path to Anime Odyssey, and at least from my experience, they all meet the same fate. The game is 6 feet under, players don't bother playing it, it'll get the initial wave of hype for like a week or a couple days because people were waiting for it and it's new, and the only people that will stay around are the people that are coping or the people that already invested too much time into said game before it even released to quit now, both of which are just not happy groups of people. So what I'm trying to say is, so many of these games are coming out. In order to compete, people feel the need to put them out in a rush state, and that's just really, really bad for the game. The last reason, and although this is arguably the least important, I definitely say the most important reason is number one, oversaturation. I feel like this is something that I want to talk about, and it's stagnant gameplay and burnout. Because the anime tower defense games at their core, right, you're not doing anything like incredibly mind-boggling. You're not doing a real brain buster. I will say you definitely have to use your brain if you're doing higher end things like leaderboard runs, getting the highest round possible, competing in tournaments. Yes, that will require some strategization, but for the most part, whether you're trying to progress a unit, get its evolution, grind for materials, get gems, all of these processes don't require you to be the sharpest tool in the shed. And what I mean by that is that the grind can feel mind-numbing at times, and that's just how it is for tower defense games. Frankly, there's really no way to circumvent that. It's just a given of the genre. It's a tower defense game, so you're not going to be doing, nuts to butts, non-stop action for every single second that you're playing the game, because that's just not how the genre functions. But I think this problem is only further exacerbated by the fact that there's so many of these games that insist on coming out, and they all follow the same basic formula. So what does that lead to? Burnout times 10, burnout times 20. I remember I wanted to try to keep up with as many anime tower defense games as possible so I could put out videos for you guys. Like, I would see, what's a good example? Nagblox, right? He keeps up with a good amount of tower defense games. Like, he keeps up with Anime World Tower Defense, he keeps up with ALS, he keeps up with Vanguards, he keeps up with Anime Adventures, he keeps up with Anime Power Defense. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know all the games that he has on his repertoire, but what I do know is I tried to do what he did. I tried to like get to a level on most tower defense games where I could comfortably make a video on the new update or whatever. I just could not do it, bro. He makes it seem a lot easier than it is, probably because it's his job, but still, like, grinding out those games over and over again, just starting from zero when it's a new game for the sake of making a video, is mind-numbing, and it is not that fun when you're doing it for multiple games. That's why you see me really only make videos on Vanguards, sometimes ALS, and, you know, I'll make an Anime Adventures video, but let's be honest, when's the last time that I've actually played the game? I've made more videos critiquing the game than I have time inside the game itself, so that should tell you all you need to know. With all that being said, I think those three main reasons that I listed off in the order that I told them would be number 1, oversaturation, number 2, poorly made games, and number 3, burnout, is why I ultimately think we truly don't need more anime tower defense games on Roblox. I really don't think so. I know me making this video isn't really going to change anything. I'm sure a couple months from now we'll see more anime tower defense games roll out, and I am fairly certain that they're going to be alive for a couple weeks and then just go back to fucking like 6 feet under and never be talked about or touched again. But I guess it is what it is. What I'm trying to say, me personally, I see a new anime tower defense game come out, and I'm no longer filled with that childlike glee and wonder and excitement of what the game's gonna be like. I'm ready to try it, this and that, because frankly I've seen the same song and dance routine play out too many times for me to care. So maybe I've just grown jaded to the whole process, but maybe that's just how I see it. Let me know in the comments what you think about new anime tower defense games. Would you play them? Are you sticking to your old games? Are you tired of them? I would love to hear what you have to say. But for now, that's it from me. This video was a lot more enjoyable to make with the new microphone, man. You don't know how good it feels, but that's it from me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content. Let me know what else you'd like to see in terms of videos in the comments, and we will catch you in the next one.